AV SuperFriends on Topic is an independent production wholly owned and operated by AV SuperFriends, LLC. For the highest quality recording of all of our shows, visit avsuperfriends.com.
Previously on AV SuperFriends. Look, we know some of you only listen to On Topic because it feels structured, responsible, and vaguely professional. That's adorable. Meanwhile, over on the other AV SuperFriends shows, we were live from InfoComm 2026, surviving booth chaos, broken mixer clocks, questionable hotel room game shows, fire alarms, AI workshops, show floor discoveries, QSIS updates, Biamp control news, reusable silicone zip ties, and our intern questioning every life choice that brought him to Las Vegas. You missed Microsoft Together mode getting kicked to the curb. You missed arguments about buttons, knobs, faders, laptops, computers, and whether a cable in the rack can legally become structural. So yes, keep listening to On Topic. Very mature, very nice. But if that's all you're listening to, you're missing the weirdest, loudest, most useful, and most regrettably accurate parts of AV SuperFriends. Subscribe to everything. Catch up on everything over at avsuperfriends.com. And try to be better.
This is AV SuperFriends on Topic, a 30-minute monthly roundtable focused on a single topic. This discussion will be opinionated, to the point, and saturated with our well-known blend of painfully won expertise and deeply ingrained immaturity. Holy shnikes, I have to scroll my feed here. For July 2026, it's the best sounding something here. There's a typo in that. Podcast and Higher Ed. This is the AV SuperFriends on Topic, episode number 74. Oof, wow, that was rough. We rolled right past all that stuff.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been
You think
here.
after 74 of these, or 280 something all told, I would have that down, but no.
Who's counting?
We are live from the aftermath of a recent trade show and conference where the coffee was expensive and Larry never offered to get any for anyone else.
You're so
No, and look what happened to him.
He always showed up with his coffee and never.
The boy, he's got two hands. One had a bag, one had coffee.
Oh, he's paying for it now. He probably picked up whatever.
So the coffee
there.
was expensive. The carpets were endless. The schedules were aspirational at best. And somehow the most important booth was always in the hall we weren't in. So this is the show for everyone who came home with sore feet, too many lanyards, half a notebook full of brilliant ideas, and a suitcase full of, oh, yeah, we were supposed to go see that. Or in some cases, conference COVID. We missed the demo, we botched the follow-up, we skipped the session, we lost the map, and somehow we still call it a successful trip. So after all of that, I'm Chris Dector. You're tuned in for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure with the AV SuperFriends, and let's say hello to today's panel. Where the heck is this one? Man, I am all out of sorts here. This is not good. There we go. Our first panelist wanders between meetings, demos, receptions, and hallway conversations, pretending that this was the plan all along. He's an attendee experience synergy wrangler from Kansas City. Say hello to Mr. Jamie Reinhardt.
The secret is you just look like you belong there and then say, yeah, I think that was it.
Right.
Our next panelist is responsible for identifying the precise moment a panel has become less relevant and slipping out before the Q&A begins. He's a senior session exit optimization manager from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mr. Mark Kolowazinski.
It is a lot of work to figure out which sessions you're going to show up to and then leave within the first 5 minutes. I like to sit at the front so everybody gets to see me leave.
So
and
the impact is
a lot
the
of
best.
planning goes into this when they put the catalog out. So
When you do that, make sure you scoot your chair in real loud like.
Oh, of course.
Squeaks on the floor. And
sometimes I leave my bag, so I have to go back and get it
yeah.
just to like make a scene.
I like to act like I'm taking a phone call. What?
Yeah.
No, I'll be
you
right
wouldn't believe
there.
the crap they're talking
Oh,
about.
I just-
It's terrible. Yeah.
I just shake my head and like, so that way everybody knows it's crap.
Our next panelist oversees the... Whoop, nope.
No, he doesn't.
Our next panelist maps the show floor by candy bowls, espresso machines, and suspiciously good popcorn. He's a principal architect of Booth Snack Reconnaissance from Kansas City. Say hello to Mr. John Reinhardt.
Haven't been fired yet.
On the fly.
Yeah.
And our final panelist oversees the collection, evaluation, and overloading of branded canvas bags that will absolutely never, ever be used again. He's a vice president of strategic tote bag acquisition for Bowling Green, Kentucky. Say hello to Mr. Justin Rexing.
I'm self-promoting. Chief Tote Bag Officer is
You're
now
vice president.
Nope.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
C-suite all the way.
Self-promoting.
That's good.
You're going to have to be careful because you might think those are branded Chief bags.
Chief tote bag officer.
Well,
Web-
judging by the website, it'd be the only way to
working
find
for
the chief
Chief.
product.
Yeah, good point.
Maybe Chief can make that.
I keep hoping Legrand will come out and just denounce their website's even worse.
I
So-
actually had to fill out a survey on their website. How do you like our website?
Did you give them
Here
both
it
barrels?
comes.
Yeah.
Been
So
waiting
up
for this
until
day.
recently, Cables to Go, C2G, had their own separate one, but nope, that has been absorbed and now worse. So
I'm almost to the point where I don't care like how bad your website is. Like
gonna
if
move
it's
on now.
bad, just don't change it. So I have to relearn
stop
another
making
bad
it
one.
worse.
Like I've learned this bad one. It works great for me now. Don't change it to something else bad. I got to relearn the bad one again. So I don't know what's bad or good with this shit. Just stop changing it.
Let's see. On today's show, we're going to discuss our biggest regrets from InfoComm. So things that we missed, things that we wish we'd done differently, things that didn't go as well as we had planned, or maybe some new product or service announcements that didn't turn out the way we thought it was going to. So all sorts of stuff there. Like these are things we saw, but or did or wanted to see or whatever, but it didn't quite plan out the way we wanted to. In one case, may have started a fight in the parking lot. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. So if you're listening to this as a recorded MP3, we do stream live on Fridays at about 3:15 Eastern, 12:15 Pacific, or whenever Jamie finally finds the right meeting room after walking past that same booth 6 times. You can follow us live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And assuming we're not still unpacking tote bags full of branded pens, half-charged battery packs, and business cards from people
That's my job.
we absolutely positively remember meeting. If you can't join us live, we still want you to connect with us on the socials. You can follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and Blue Sky, and wherever the hell we are. Because apparently, even after 3 days, 4 days, 6 days at a massive trade show, none of us saw everything. And now we all have to piece it together from blurry phone photos, LinkedIn posts, and someone saying, wait, didn't you see that demo? Also, please don't forget to spread the word. Share this podcast with your friends, colleagues, enemies, booth neighbors, badge scanning goblins, and that one person who somehow attended every single manufacturer party and still had time to see the entire show floor. If you could gently but firmly hug people in public and force them to listen to a few dozen episodes, that would be great. Just tell them it's an immersive product experience.
Whispered in their ear. Hey,
If you'd like to support the show, please consider donating. Your contributions help to keep us bringing you the honest content that you love or love to hate, and also help us emotionally recover from discovering that the most interesting thing at the entire trade show was allegedly hidden in a booth we walked past and never actually entered. You can find the donation link for that in the show notes or on our website. We do want to hear from you, so if there's a topic you'd like us to cover, a product you saw that we somehow missed, a booth demo that changed your life, or a deeply suspicious trade show trend that needs to be mocked in public, send us an email or comment on social media. Email at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com, or hit us up on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Blue Sky, etc., or wherever AV people are arguing about USB-C. We're probably within earshot of that. Finally, as you're listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other platform, please leave a rating and review. Your feedback helps us to grow and reach more listeners, especially the ones still wandering the convention center 3 days after leaving, saying, I swear there was another hall over this way down this hallway. So, and thanks for your support. We could not do this show or any of this stuff without you.
And we're out of here. Thank you.
All right. There we are. So,
I was
This-
giving away
this
free
shows-
hugs and nobody cared.
I was asked to stop. This show's theme, our regrets, our things, and we're leaning
regrets.
hard into that word. Things that we regret we didn't see, things that we regret that we did see, things we regret doing or not doing, all of that stuff. I think it's all fair game. So this is going to be your anti-InfoComm show, not like here's the best stuff we saw. These are things that you get back. You get back to the office on Monday morning. You start looking through stuff. And you're like, I didn't even know that was there. What the hell? So,
You told me.
who's starting first?
Mark,
Me?
Mark is starting first.
guess I'm
because
starting
you
first.
led into this planning meeting. You're like, I've got one.
Got
No, I'm
one.
not telling you
Not
because
telling
you
you.
guys are all, and then you're going to fight about it. So just get it out, buddy.
Maybe not.
Just do it.
Okay,
No
so-
regrets.
regrets.
No
My
regrets.
credo. My regret was
That's my
took
credo.
place- took place on the Wednesday AVSF press briefing luncheon.
And what was this briefing luncheon
This
thing?
was-
That's the one where I got held up at a booth and I got there late.
I regret not getting in a fight during that.
So, yeah, let me set the stage here. This was the state of Pro AV AI governance and next phase of growth. And so, and it was a lot of reporting. And I'm not shooting the messenger on this. That's not. I think Mike Sullivan did a very good job of reporting the data. But as I was there, I was just like biting my lip, like wanting to scream, "No, foul!"
I think I made a few comments out loud, and a few people were looking at me like, "I think this guy's crazy."
And so my regret
This is
was
the one
like,
where you went over and like
yes,
to his
pinned him
table
on,
afterwards.
I went over, like, slammed on his table, like, listen.
Listen, buddy.
I think you're wrong.
Hey,
I think
pal.
your data's not right. And so we all at our little junket that we had eating our suspicious sandwiches, and
Don't eat those sandwiches.
It was a wet wrap.
I didn't eat it.
A wet wrap.
I was
Don't
like,
eat
I'm not
that
having
wet
this.
wrap.
That's a
So, because
regret.
it would have been a different regret if I would have had that sandwich. Guaranteed, it would have been
I
like
ate that.
reliving Chris's.
I did
past.
not regret it.
So, but anyway, so a lot of the data was like, oh, basically nobody knows what's going on with AI. But if you want to learn more, talk to your integrator.
Oh,
Don't do that.
That was like the summary all came down to talk to your integrator. They're the ones that are going to train you in all this great Shangri-La world of AI.
No.
And it was flat out no. And I was like, I then afterwards, there was a Q&A session, and I couldn't get my question formulated amongst the other crap questions that were coming up from the press folks that were there.
Okay, so we do need to set the tone. This was for the press, and we
for
were
the
there.
press.
We were
acting-
there as press.
We were there as press.
Acting as
It
press.
said press on my badge, sir. That's why I was there.
Yes.
Right. And so, I mean, I used the Wi-Fi. I mean, let's be real. And so I wanted to ask this question. I was like, but how do you frame after a session and just basically call and like, I object. Everything you just laid out for the last 45 minutes, I object to that, sir, because I don't think it's true. If you ask a bunch of like integrators if they're the ones that should be teaching AI, what do you think they're going to say? Of course, we would gladly provide that service and not know a damn thing what we're talking about and charge for it. So I don't know. My regret was not putting my hand up and like sparking a larger conversation in that, because I didn't think what we were fed was actual real.
but was
Well,
that
it's
the
not.
audience?
I share those regrets, Mark, because guess who the integrators are asking us about AI.
Right.
Like that, literally at the show,
Like that
the top
day.
3 or 4 integrators were asking
No
Mark and I
regrets.
about AI.
Mhm.
And then I go into a session and I hear some experts saying that we should talk to the integrators about AI and getting that.
It just
It did not compute.
no,
did
no,
not-
it did not.
No.
And so I felt weird. Like I felt like I did our portion of the community a disservice by not forcing my hand up and calculating an answer to derail that whole thing. Though I did have a follow-up conversation with Mike, I told you, and he said, you're actually right. And I also, I don't think the industry is ready to actually be training AI, because there's no manufacturer or part of the organization who even knows what's going on with it. And so why would they have the answers? And he's like, no, you're absolutely right. There are small enclaves and pockets of end users who are far more out in front of what's going on than any of the integrators or the manufacturers at those points. And he did admit that, yes, that was overlooked in the presentation. So we met halfway, and we both agreed that don't eat the sandwiches.
I turned out okay. I think maybe not. I don't know.
For now.
It's subjective.
But I agree with Mark.
Well, since you agree with me, Justin, what was your regret?
I got a few of them here.
Okay.
So this happens every year, but I regret.
You have no regrets?
Not sleeping more. I regret not seeing more of the show floor.
Are you just going to
Like
rattle them all
walking
off?
around and
Yeah,
shopping.
just
You can just rattle them off.
shooting everything
these
right
are-
now.
these are quick.
Let's start at that sleeping one.
These are
You-
quick.
Justin starts with the grand finale.
Let's say now you had like some illicit substance that you were running around with all week. I gotta get caffeine. I need coffee and all this stuff. You were topped
That's
up.
every year.
Yeah.
I had all of my caffeine.
Yeah, you're like, I want to get to that
Hundreds of
point where I'm just
milligrams a day.
jittering. Like I want to
Well,
just be
since-
shaking. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm teaching, I have to be like shaking. It's a better class when I'm like that, full of caffeine.
Better class,
I
better class.
regret talking about AI too much.
Oh. Now, I
Careful.
think you need to
Careful,
define
man.
that a little bit.
They're gonna turn on us, Justin, if you get too far down this sentiment.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like
What do you mean, like, because you guys like had one thing
We
planned and then were
spilled a lot
invited to
of
like
beans.
7 more.
We spilled a lot of beans, a lot of recipe, and a lot of how to. We gave a lot away at that show.
yeah, we're kind of lucky that more people didn't show up to our first session. I think.
I don't
Because
think. Wait,
it was mostly people who were actually interested in what we were doing, and it was a lot of higher ed folk and some end users. And I'm really glad that more business oriented people were not at that. Just for
For the
business sake.
competition.
Well, to be fair, the presentation title was specific about higher ed.
It was.
So,
It was.
Like,
Well,
weaponizing
now,
AI or
if we
something
had
like that?
titled it "Leveraging AI for Your
Business
Integration
development and
Business,"
yeah.
they would have all been there
Mhm.
telling us how to do AI.
Well, you're
Yeah.
probably right. You're
they probably
right.
would have invoiced us on the way out.
Maybe so.
Mhm.
I also regret,
Out
and this
in the
might be
hallway
Chris's
invoicing each
regret
other.
as well. I might be stealing his, but something that came to mind is I regret, and this is a compliment to Avixa TV, not asking more questions before we showed up about what their capabilities were.
Yeah, I would say I'm not saying asking more questions as much as simply assuming.
So we assumed that they had analog inputs. We could do program audio, and their
I also assumed
kit,
I'd be able to hear anyone else on stage.
their kit was souped out to all kinds of networked whatever. And
This really isn't a bashing on them. I mean, that
No,
was a
it
pretty
was-
cool system.
It was us
great.
living in a legacy world, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just something we didn't expect from
Next
the
year, I'm showing up
previous
with my
years.
own network switch. Be
Yeah,
like,
show
I
me
got
everything.
you.
Yeah,
I
here's my
got you.
IP address. And this
So
is
what
where
are
I'm
we
sitting.
talking about?
This is
Where
my
we do this-
multicast address. This is where you're going to see all my.
Yeah. We do the show. We
What do I
like to
plug
put
this
music.
in? Just give me a feed.
Here's the
Just-
MAC
I gotta-
address.
Yeah,
So-
just give me a trunk. We'll get it going.
We like to put music into
I
our
got my own
show
Grandmaster.
live.
It's fantastic.
We couldn't do that, and their approach was, "Well, stick the mic right on the laptop speaker," and we're like, "No,
No,
we did not do that.
that was not going to be.
No, we are going to
feasible solution.
literally fix this in post.
Yes.
So I did my doop 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 singing, and it went just fine. It was okay.
Mhm.
Lesson learned for next year.
No,
And
I
then
think the
also-
Avixa TV is a very cool kind of like here's a thing on the show floor.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
It was a great
better
time.
spot this year. It was much better location. And also regret not convincing you chodes of going to that Panasonic's dinner
That's my
party.
third regret.
Oh,
That is my third regret for not
Wait, wait,
attending.
wait, wait.
But I'm going to wait until maybe Chris. I don't know,
Bravo
you-
to Panasonic to throw in the perfect party. Now this wasn't
So
a
Yeah, there's-
kegger or anything crazy or spring break like
you got to go back to Tuesday when this
I
starts.
do. Well, I don't remember a lot of last week. Just a blur.
So on Tuesday when we had like Nacho Ricky's Emporium.
Scuba- it
Where
was
did we
Scuba
eat
Steve's.
Tuesday?
where was that place?
Where-
Nacho,
what do you
Nacho
mean
Daddy's.
Nacho?
Or,
Oh, Nacho Daddy.
Yes.
Scuba
So
Steve's.
during
I
Taco
almost got beat up
Emporium.
on the way there.
during
Yeah.
that we started comparing calendars early on. This is like first thing
Keep
I get
in
in
mind,
town.
we have a
Yeah.
shared calendar, and
We
you
have
guys
a
then
shared-
had secret calendars in
Yeah.
addition to that.
It is everywhere.
And
Anyway,
so I'm like, oh shit, I didn't sign up for the Panasonic thing. So I like part the C to get signed up for the Panasonic thing. I'm like, and make sure you have the other AV SuperFriends on there also. And my rep's like, oh, no problem. I can do this for you. I'm like, great. We have this thing all lined up. And then it was this Wednesday night when this happened? Yeah, Wednesday night.
I don't know.
Yes, it
Ask
was Wednesday.
John. He hasn't stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
Brownies were really good.
That's what I keep hearing. And so Chris and I were like, well, we're going to take one for the team. We're going to go to the Piamp dinner at Elvis's Kitchen of Steak Emporium
chose
Golden
poorly.
Steer. Right?
It was
That is-
it was Frank Sinatra's
Yes.
personal kitchen,
correct.
which, as you read the menu, turns out none of that stuff was true.
No. So we went, and this was the second night of steak for me. And I was like, I don't really want to have the steak. So went there anyway with Chris. And I think the
They had
room was like
the world's largest baked potato.
the world's, I got the world's largest baked potato.
sounds
Again, false advertising. Actually, it was the largest in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. Vegas's largest baked potato and a Caesar salad, the quality of which you might get on a good day at Denny's.
like Zaxby's
No,
salad.
it says in the catalog, Chris, that is Vegas's best Caesar salad, sir. So I don't know what you're talking about.
So you guys got screwed. Now, my perception was I'm sitting there having to make a choice.
And I'm not saying it was terrible, but we were locked into a room with some close
With
friends,
too many people.
and you're
Couldn't
standing,
hear.
like, it was sitting room only, and like the wall was like against us. So I mean, it was fine. It was fine.
So
But-
my perception was during the day, it's like, do I go with mom or dad? Like, I got a couple people going with Biamp, got a couple people going to Panasonic. Like, what does Justin choose?
Well,
I'm
here's my thing with any trade show, conference, whatever, dinner events, whatever. I always gravitate towards the smaller dinners because I don't need to go to a giant
And that's what this
party
felt like.
with a
Really
an InXS cover band playing poorly. I don't need that. Because invariably you're over there getting like, oh, I got 2 little hors d'oeuvres. Oh, that was dinner.
Doritos and a
and so
But
I always default to
17
that. And
drinks.
so again, thanks to Biamp for sponsoring that dinner. It was a fine meal.
was
There was
great,
no
yeah.
problem with that. They just had too many people crammed into it. Now, granted, there's 40,000 people.
I think it
in
was
Vegas
false
for it.
advertising. I think the Biamp dinner was the party and the Panasonic party was the dinner.
Sort of, but there was plenty of food, to be fair, at the other one. So that the Biamp, when they kept bringing more food,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like,
we
here,
were
now you
stuffed.
eat this entire lobster. Now you eat more steak. It was a whole thing.
yes.
And then the next day, we hear from
No,
everyone else.
that night, Chris, because Justin and I had to meet up to go through the
Oh,
presentation.
yeah.
Right.
So
we
I'm
saw
like,
you guys in the lobby.
I'm
That's
like,
I didn't hear
Justin,
till the next day.
let's meet up. And all I hear from like 9 o'clock, it's like, dude, this party was crazy. And I'm just like, what?
It wasn't,
But
it
not
wasn't even
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was just nice. It was
it
very
was
nice.
so perfect. So the experience was, I'm like, okay, do I really want to go? I really don't want to go to this party. It's not about the companies at all. I just don't want to go to a party. I'd rather just sit down and have a nice, quiet dinner. So I think it was me
Agreed.
and Jamie and Larry and John here. I think that was it, right? 4 of us.
Yeah, that's it.
We're like, well, where are the leftovers? We'll go to the Panasonic thing. So we go through is it the Venetian? I don't remember.
Who knows? You
It
got,
doesn't
you
matter.
got us the back door
No, resort
Uber ride over
world.
there, and he.
Yeah, we got the backdoor Uber ride, paid him cash. And like, yeah, we'll drop you off right here.
Traveling
Like,
with
the whole
Justin's
thing, man.
nice. He knows a guy, and we just go
I
right in.
got people. I got people in Vegas and Orlando. I got a call, and you carry cash on you. You can get shit done.
He does.
So
He's like
fast.
the Cadillac
it's
rolls.
paying off for me.
It's
I'm the
cheaper.
only one who ever has cash.
Cheaper, you pay in cash.
Yep.
Like, hey, I'll give you $20 for
That
this ride.
Cadillac rolls up, and he's like, "Hey, boys!" We're like,
Yeah.
"Yes."
You got cold air blowing on your butt while you're drunk. It's great, man.
How are you
no
sitting in
regrets.
this car?
Huh?
Continue.
Anyways,
Carry
moving
on.
on. So we show up and we're walking around like, where the hell is this place? So we find the place, and it's like 2 restaurants together. And so John and Jamie and Larry go through the line and they get their wristband, and I'm not on the list. And I go over to this nice lady. I meet her after a while with Daryl, and she goes, "Oh, you're not on the list? No problem. Register right here." And I register right there.
Here,
She's
I was panicking
check
the day
my
before.
ID. I could have been Johnny Toadstool that sold Sony. For all Panasonic knew. They didn't. I don't know. I don't think they know my face. And so they registered me right there, put the wristband on. I think Larry or Jamie went to go save our table. That was beautiful. Whoever decided that.
We just as we walked
And it was
in,
outside
yeah,
the restaurant.
it
That
was the
John.
intern. He looks over there and goes,
Grabs a table
"Hey,
for us.
there's 4 soft chairs, like
Oh.
soft chairs and a table." And he's like, "I'll be here. You guys get food."
And we're outside the restaurant, like where it's quiet. And the waiters are coming up every 2 minutes. You want some more food? You want some more drinks? Food, drinks, food. There's 2 bars. One side's quiet. Best food, best Chinese food I've ever had. The other side's more like the gaming area, was more loud. So you had people that wanted to get a little rowdy, go over here, and people that just want to sit and talk, go over here. It was the brownies, like John said,
Brownies again.
like popcorn.
They
These
were so-
things were. I
they
don't even
were-
know.
So we all were like, we're stuffed, and this lady's like, "You want what were they, John? Like raspberry
They were
filled
like-
brownie
yeah,
bites?"
they were like little
Double
bitty,
chocolate raspberry brownie bites.
Yeah.
little
So we
bitty
all have
things,
one,
covered in
and we're like,
chocolate.
"Oh, so good."
I'm like, oh
As
my
we're
God.
leaving, we're like, "Where's
No,
John?"
Jamie, you're not allowed to tell this story. Hold on. So I ate my first one, and here it comes, guys. Here it comes.
Okay, here
I
we
ate the
go.
first one. I was like, that's like the best brown I ever had. Like said something like that because I was so full and tired. I was like, that was great. Jamie's like, I'll try one. Jamie eats one. Oh my God, it's so good. His pants started expanding. Everything.
I
like, it
believe
was-
I believe it was like having a
In this
stripper
version, he
pole
is
in your
wearing
mouth.
pants.
That was
And
the
I
word.
looked
That was the
over
language
at
I heard.
John, and I'm like, "Dude, what's wrong with your dad, bro?" He's like, I don't know. So John got a hold of one, and a second, and a third, and a fourth.
And as
I
we're
think he took
leaving,
a fifth on his way out. Like,
we're looking for him. We're like, we all get our T-shirts. We're headed out. We're headed towards the thing. We're like, where's
You got
John?
a t-shirt
And he
too? Damn it.
and he runs up with a
he has
handful.
hands
He's got. You guys want one? Did you want
like,
one?
no, I can't.
There's like 3 left, and he's like, it's so good.
So
so that was
I'm not sure
one
if
of
we
the
talked
better
about this thing on the show during
parties.
the week, but I guarantee you, before every morning show that we had, Chris and I could not get away from how great this goddamn Panasonic dinner was. It came up every conversation. And it just like you all just heard. This is what we were subject to every morning of InfoComm.
So
And
let
the
me.
best part was replicating how Jamie was acting after he had his first brownie. Like, it's almost an embarrassment to us. It's like, you got to keep quiet. People are gonna
I
think
told
that
you I was
we're-
spreading around hugs. It put me in such a good mood. I was just spreading hugs.
People are going to think we're really weird.
So yes, I regret not making that dinner. But thank you,
It
Brian. It
sounds
was
like we have to go
fantastic.
back
Yeah.
there in 2
Yeah.
years and try to replicate.
Well, we need to go back to those restaurants and just talk to them and like, can I get a table and both at the same time and recreate the experience?
Just the
Maybe-
atmosphere, the
It's
vibe.
not
Spend
saying
next
the
50
other
years trying to recreate that.
the other dinners and things we went to weren't good or they weren't appreciated, but this one just was right.
It
was
hit the
just
spot.
right. Yeah.
Thanks for rubbing it in my nose again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that was all my
that's
regrets.
fine. Mr. John Reinhardt, intern extraordinaire, production assistant.
That's my
L'Oreal.
credo.
What's now, you're filling in for Larry today. This is a Larry free episode.
It's another Larry Free Friday.
Larry free Friday.
Larry got Vegas COVID and I didn't.
Conference COVID.
Yes. So this is your first hoorah for this whole thing, and so I'm curious, really curious as to what you could possibly have regretted from being involved with this.
I really regret underestimating it as much as I did. Like, I was warned about it beforehand, and I was like, oh, it's just a conference center with a bunch of tech. And then I walk
Correct.
in, and it's just more than I think I could have imagined. It's just that much. It was that much. I kind of regret also not doing a little bit of research beforehand, because between school and now working for 2 months, walking around, I know enough to know what everything was. I could tell that was a camera. I could kind of tell a little bit
That
of like,
looks like a microphone.
so it's like,
That looks like a cable.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Which is better than some of our peers, actually.
Yes.
true. You're not wrong.
I could walk around and like, I know what that is. But so I knew enough to know what things are. But I didn't know enough to know what they are and like what makes them different. So like, what makes this PTZ camera different from this one, besides I found out one has a bigger sensor than some of the other cameras on the market, or what makes this network switcher different and better than this network switcher.
You
Or-
know, John, there's something to say about that. There's times where, I've been in here, 20 plus years. I don't know the difference either.
And neither do the engineers on the
No.
floor.
Engineers are like,
It's all coming from the same factory anyway.
yeah, China.
China. Apparently, that Panasonic dinner.
You're not alone when thinking, I'm like, what's the difference besides price in this one and that one? Like, it does the same thing.
Can I interest you in MediaCast?
So you felt like you were ill prepared, even though you were warned, and
Yeah.
you regret not heeding the warning.
And I think that I prepared myself a little bit, but it turns out that it wasn't even close to because I've never experienced anything like that. So it wasn't even close to the level I had imagined. But I think like overall throughout the week, my biggest regret from it was not letting myself get comfortable fast enough to where I was second guessing everything I did. So I took the entirety of Tuesday and Wednesday kind of getting my bearings, but not being confident enough to go out and do the thing. And then I built up the confidence to go do my prospective interview with Cable Ties. And then that little bit of confidence was shattered because I messed up my microphones. So then I was fighting that battle and struggling to get my confidence back with that. And
Fail fast. Fail fast and get going.
That was hilarious too, folks, because he comes back to the press room and he's like, "This piece of crap, they're on the floor. I'm going to go talk to them." We're like, "That's just not the time, man. Not the time." It's great.
I mean, it didn't help that Larry was really breathing down your leg. He's hard on all of our students and interns. So Larry's a real stickler. So to have him like really screaming at you the way he was not fair.
Yeah,
I will tell you that. Yeah.
I think tying you up wasn't good, and making you buy from the kiddies menu at the dinner parties.
But yeah,
I just want to point out a lot of the restaurants in Vegas don't have chili dogs.
No, you were hell bent on trying to find some chili dogs and fries the one night.
But I think overall, I wish I was more. I wish I forced myself to get more comfortable and to have that little bit more confidence to go and talk to somebody and have a semi-intelligent conversation about something I don't know nearly enough about, so I could have learned something a little bit more.
You're perfect.
I learned a lot this week, but there was a really big opportunity that I missed to learn more.
It's hard, like drinking from that fire hose. Sometimes it's just it's overwhelming, and so.
And your first time experience was with a bunch of guys that have been running around that show floor for 15 or 20 years. And so it is hard to kind of, it was hard for us to go, oh, that's what it's like to be new. Why are you counting?
I'm trying to see how many times I've been there. I think it's 11.
Oh. 11?
That's why I'm counting.
Okay.
More than that.
All right, maybe it was 16.
A lot.
I don't know. More than 2.
All right. Well, but John, do you regret having the 6th brownie?
After I got back, yes. In the moment, no.
I regretted you. I regretted you
you.
having it whenever you went back to the hotel room too.
I think I had 3 dinners that night. Pretty sure.
We went to the Gordon Ramsay restaurant for one of the dinners, and I was finally able to get my beef Wellington because I've been wanting one of those for a while from Gordon Ramsay's. And I had the whole figuring out of somebody else is buying me dinner. It's okay.
That's right.
To get
that was your
something a
first
little
time because you
more
were like, "Hey,
expensive.
man, I don't know. Can I get this thing?" And we're like, "Get it. Get what you want to get, sir." And
So, it's like, I don't know. Larry looks at him and says, "Just buy the damn meat."
It's like it
it was
was
a very
get it.
Larry thing to say.
It's like so the Gordon Ramsay, so that experience was interesting and all trying to get that figured out. And the Gordon Ramsay, the beef Wellington was really good. And it was the worst thing I had all week because that
Really good, but it was the worst thing.
the Panasonic dinner, I think it's
man.
going to take a while to top.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Jamie, what about you, sir? What about you? What did you regret this past week?
Time management. Man, I do this every time. The time management to try to get to everything, and also, like we try to get the perspectives recordings. And there was some really good visits and conversations we had, like Mark and you and I had one, where like it wasn't the right time to record. You know, it's that Wednesday morning. The place is absolutely just hammered with people, and it's just conversation's too noisy, and didn't get back. Right,
You never go back.
Yeah, that
you're
probably would have
launching
been
to
a
the
good
moon,
one.
man. You got one shot.
And then there's the places where normally in years past, I'll look at that daily preview magazine that they publish, because sometimes the little ads, the little snippets in there are things that, oh, I need to go talk to them, or I need to go, oh yeah, it's just that kind of that reminder that I wanted to look at some stuff. And I didn't do it until I was headed out of town. And then I regretted not picking that up in the morning or not flipping through that before I hit the show floor, because there was things I missed.
I missed 98% plus.
Well, and that's one of the things I always tell people. Those InfoComm show dailies, they send them out by email now, but they also just they used to print them by the tens of thousands, drop off at every hotel, but now you can pick them up on your way in. Go past all the kind of the advertisements and stuff. Go to like that back section. It's almost like the classifieds. It's where people are paying for their little tiny booth or their little tiny product thing. scan through that, you'll find 8 or 10 things. You're like, whoa, what's that? Whoa, what's this? Oh, that looks interesting. And you can quickly come up with a list. And like Jamie said, like there's stuff in the back of those that you don't necessarily think to look for on the floor that all of a sudden, if you're looking at them later, like at the airport, you're like, damn it.
Well, and one of those was, and I think would probably have ended up on our tour. It would have been a perspective. Is like M Solutions makes all kinds of little testers and gadgets. They have one that's USB-C tester that when you plug it in, it tells you what this thing is capable of. Which we always say, oh, it has USB-C, but what's it actually capable of? And this thing runs through it all according to the little blurb that I saw in the paper that I didn't go talk to them, but I would have if I would have done what I was supposed to have done. And because they have them in the press room, and I try to flip through it while we're kind of editing shows and things first thing in the morning. I wanted to talk to people about the browser-based Dante controller boxes that several companies have now.
Several of them out there, yeah.
Yeah, and I keep telling myself I want to talk to them. I want to get more information about how this actually operates. What's didn't do it. Just that kind of stuff. I just regret that I didn't stuff that I normally would do. I didn't do this year. And it I feel like I missed out on some good opportunities.
I've never had a more busy
Fail.
This was the busiest, I think, calendar wise, and just where I was at every moment than I've ever been in InfoComm. Like, it was ridiculous.
We had a lot of speaking engagements and
meetings,
meetings and more
a lot of
business
speakeasies
stuff this year.
Business was booming. That's what they say.
Business.
As you counted out 11 years.
I think that I may be
service
off by
for
like
this
a handful.
You're under.
I think you're under 2. I'll take
Plus or minus 10.
Plus or minus 10. Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is.
I ran out of fingers.
Well, so similar to what Jamie said, I regret not having another 2 days there to see more. As much as like by the time you get to Friday, we were kind of dragging, but I needed another 2 days to get done more of what I wanted to do, just because there's time always seems to get.
They should have that like we're going to close the door down, but we're going to leave everything set up the way it is for like
we're going to leave it all here for an extra day.
It's all here for like the Friday night, right? It's like it's the hassle-free. It's if you can get like the Disney Fast Pass for it, where it's like you have to pay a little extra, but you get the floor and all the engineers.
We're not going to badge scan.
You just graze.
Don't expect customer service.
However you want, and just take it all in. Like that's what I want. I want like a quiet version where I can just go through like, yeah, you know what? What do you think about this, Jamie? Blah, 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 blah. And then you can just kind of meander around and graze amongst the stuff. That's I want that.
Get there before it opens.
Idea, but
yeah.
I do. I regret kind of how not how we structured it, not how we planned it, but how the actual execution of the Hidden Gem show floor tour went. Not because of the product selected, not because of the booths we went to, but because some salespeople can't help being salespeople. And when we explain to them ahead of time, because a bit of inside baseball, when we do that floor tour, we go to them ahead of time, usually the day before or earlier that day. Then we go 10 minutes right before again and say, hey, we're coming in 10 minutes. We want to talk about this thing. And oftentimes we want to talk about this feature on this thing. This is a big deal. And they're always like, oh, you got it. And you get there and they're like, all right, let me start with my entire product line of why. And it was like, there was one booth, we literally had to cut them off. Sorry, shut up, we're moving on. And it's like, that started to burn me, because then it happened again at the very next booth. And that leads to my second regret of, I regret that manufacturers still don't recognize the coolest thing they have in their booth. They jam it around an awkwardly alcove corner, hidden back in the, in the back end, where you can't see anything. It's not out front. It's not out where you can get to it. It's always kind of tucked back around this thing, whatever, and one person can stand there seeing it on the screen, whatever. And they, again, miss the entire point of why we want to see that thing is not because, yes, you have this new thing, and I'm glad you have that. That is very cool. But there's this one aspect of it that is critically important. We want you to talk about to the 30 people on our tour right now, go. And they're like, all right, well, let me tell you about my entire life history of how I got to this point. And it was like, you have product manager on your badge. You should know this stuff. Shut the hell up and tell me about this thing. And to the point where after the end of the tour, I had to grab the mic, from our little whatchamacallit, touring kit, and be like, all right, here's why we went to those booths, and you probably missed some of the stuff there. Go back and look at this little part of it. It is very cool and well worth your time to investigate further. So that's my regret, is like, we need to do better about like shaking these people and maybe even giving them like talking points of like, we're bringing 30 people to your booth. We want you to talk about this thing, and here's why.
Only
I
this
don't
thing.
care where you went on vacation. I don't care about your shoe size.
I don't care your team's room.
Yeah, I don't care.
Shit.
We don't. Yeah, I don't know any of that stuff. This thing, go.
You know who
And they're
killed
like,
it during that?
Chuck. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Chuck
I walked-
Espinosa over at Aurora.
I walked over
no
to Chuck-
regrets about Chuck, right?
Yes.
Knowing exactly what he needed to do.
He wore the right outfit.
Jamie goes up,
and
gives him
everything.
the high sign. He turns, and just for like a perfect, was like 8 minutes
better than
perfect.
that.
Boom.
I told
Jamie
him
gave
ahead
a
of time.
limit.
I went up and I said, okay, Chuck, here's what I need. I need the raw video for this particular thing. You have 8 minutes. He says, I only need 3. Okay, well then pick one other thing. How about the other thing? He goes, done. Show up, rock and roll. He's on it. I interrupted him 4 or 5 times. Dude hit 7:59. He looked at his watch and said,
I'm out.
thanks, guys.
Drop the microphone.
I went,
Yeah.
Chuck, you're the best.
He carries a microphone around for that, so he can drop it in the leaves.
Yeah, he nailed it. And he hit the
So
highlights.
I have
and
no
it was-
regrets.
yeah,
about
he was
Chuck
good.
Espinosa.
They got some cool stuff there.
No
too.
regrets.
That's right.
No regrets.
Well,
All right.
would
my
you do it all
credo.
over again? Would we do it all over again?
We're gonna do it
I
again next year.
would.
We're
I
doing it
would
next year.
tweak it a little bit.
In the humidity.
We say that every year though, so it's just
It'd be
I
fun.
don't know.
I think I'm going to reach out to Avix and ask him, like, hey, can you just extend InfoComm out to Sunday? And we need those days.
Do we
You know who would hate that?
Everyone?
Manufacturers.
I know. It's fine.
I still want to point out, and this is free advice I give everybody. I regret the number of people who always leave on Friday, because Friday is like the best day. You can get around to so many more places.
can actually talk to people? It's good.
I do also regret agreeing to schedule manufacturer booth appointments, little 10-minute appointments or whatever, on Wednesday.
Nope.
Because this was the only, and I never do it, but this is the only year I had other stuff going, and I was like, all right, I'll try it on Wednesday. Oh my God, that's a mess.
Yeah, it was a mess.
I think I'm not even going to do that anymore in the future. Scheduled booth visits.
Well, I did tell one, so there's one I was very late to. I was texting this person. I'll be there in 10 minutes, be there in 15 minutes, whatever. I get over there, and they're like, all right, great. Do you want to take the booth tour? And I'm like, no. I don't have time for the booth tour. But again, I want to see this thing. Tell me about that thing. And they walked me over to like where they have like the fancy demo of it. I'm like, no. Where's the hardware? I want to hold one in my hands. I want to talk about this. And they're like, oh, that's over here. And they had to like go get it out of like a little bin. I'm like, I don't know who's designing some of these booths, but having like the Elvis experience in your booth has very little value to me.
You know, I think the final regret that I have is that we didn't have an intern before this year.
Yes. Seriously. How we did any of that.
Having
Covered a lot of territory.
having somebody cart all of our crap around was pretty nice.
It was. Just having
I think we'll have interns moving forward, certainly.
a standard configuration that's the same way every time. Well, how luxurious. So, all right. Well,
All right. Any last thoughts? Any other things we want to bring up? Anything we didn't discuss? Anything we missed?
that was a good closure. We're finally over it now. I think we needed that. So,
All right. Well,
no more info.
Nothing else.
On to the
no
next
more
one.
InfoComm, no more
2027.
regrets.
That's my credo.
All righty. Well, we'll roll out of here. Be back
Jeez.
next week with. Are we doing a show on Friday?
No.
Or are we going early?
No, because it's
We have to go early then.
right.
We'll figure it
Early?
out.
Thursday.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe next
Thursday at
week.
midnight, Justin. We have to do a show, man.
Celebrating
Just drink the coffee and be jittery. You'll be good.
More stuff from InfoComm coming out soon. Look for that on the feed. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for putting up with yet another episode of AV SuperFriends On Topic. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at avsuperfriends.com.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.